It's not the hacks, not the apps, not the money. It's this.
This love we hold on to, that's how we survive.
All right, before we dive in, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss the love notes and the storms that are still to come. All right, y'all, welcome back to Clouds and Chaos. This is our last episode of the season. I cannot believe that. We've made it through all 8 episodes. I remember like in the beginning of this, where we didn't even think that we would even get to episode 8. So this one may be our most important one yet. Today we're talking about love, and not the Instagram kind, not my favorite Hallmark kind, but the kind that actually keeps us alive.
Yeah, the kind that shows up when everything else is falling apart, you know? The kind our kids see every single day, even when it's messy.
And it usually is.
True that. But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Any other way. It's almost our 17-year anniversary.
Boom.
Couple weeks from now. Oh, right.
Let's talk.
What are we going to talk about?
Today we're talking about love. Love as the thread.
Love got to do with it.
Love is the thread. Holding it down in silence. Making each other laugh when it's easier to fight. The quiet daily acts that say, I'm still here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, love, it isn't loud. It's consistent.
True.
Or I guess I would say like love is like putting in the work consistently.
Yeah, I agree 100%. What's one small ordinary moment this week that reminded you we're still on the same team?
I don't know. Why don't you answer that?
Let's see. There's so many to choose from, you know? I
can't even think about this week. It's all been a blur.
Yeah, you've been hella busy. It's the little things, you know? When we sit down and we talk about the day or the week, you know, we sat down and we talked about our plan, trying to just figure out logistics and everything.
I guess for me, it's, you know, we got married at 19 and 20. We had no financial literacy when we got together. We're just two people who love to spend money, especially money we don't have.
Yeah.
And just, you know, like I said, we've been together for 17 years. And so some of those mistakes and some things we've ignored are starting to come back out. And I would say like 10-ish years ago, us would not have been able to handle it with as much grace and
humility
for it. It's a great way to put it. Just knowing, you know, we processed the feelings pretty quickly, but then came up with a game plan and an action plan and how we're going to like do this together. So I, you know, for sure, I think that really is a testament to our growth with each other and not doing our you shut down me self-destructive behavior through it, and instead working as a team on it and, you know, cheering each other on and building each other back up. And that's how we win this fight, by doing it together.
Yeah. So do you think would you put more stock in the big gestures or the quiet consistency? Like, what's more important to you?
I guess I would say like the small stuff, just with how busy I am. I don't have time for big grand gestures. I don't have time for you to whisk me away to the Dominican Republic or something for some epic honeymoon spa weekend, which would be nice. I'm not saying don't ever do that, but just in our time in our life where we're at right now, that's not something that would whisk me away and be like, oh my God, that was so magical. Things are great. I would literally be thinking about like, oh my gosh, we have the carnival in 2 weeks. And oh, what Books, Buddies, and Bracelets is after that. Oh, well, I got this at work. And like my my mind and everything I'm going through, like it's just such a constant need for me to be here. So the little things for me, I think, make a big difference on, can I get you, like, I don't know, what kind of food I like to eat. So you don't have to cook it, but if you had like the ingredients there for me, like when I got home after a long day, like out and ready for me, like, hey, I know this is probably something that you would want to eat tonight. Here it is, here it's out for you. Cause I love to cook for myself and make my own food, right? So just little things like that. What about you?
Yeah, I would say the little things. I mean, big gestures are cool and all, but really, I think it's the little things that keep relationships going. If you don't do the little things, then it doesn't matter how many big things you do. It's not really going to make up for missing all the little things.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, how do we keep choosing laughter when frustration feels easier?
I don't necessarily know if we always do choose laughter all the time.
We do not. to be honest.
We keep it real.
We keep it really real. And not to say that like it's not always productive or healthy with how real we'll keep it. I'd rather be real than fake, but we've also learned how to communicate better. I think doing this together has helped us communicate better and to be able to talk things out. But I mean, it's just so good when we are able to like sit and laugh with each other. We're doing that and the girls are doing it with us. And when that chaos becomes love and laughter through it, it's so much easier to go through the chaos than when it's like stormy and angry and bitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I was going to ask, but actually I think that was kind of the answer to the next question I was going to ask you, which is what does I'm still here look like for you in the middle of chaos? At least for me, that's how it looks, is that families together, we're laughing, we're having a good time, we're having, a little dance party. Those are the moments that makes it all worth it.
Yeah. It's like, I'm still here. You're not going to the store to get milk and never come back. But it is. It's just still being here in the real moments. Back in the day when I'd be home and into my home clothes and no wig and just being my most raw, authentic self around you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do you know what hit me this week? It's that, I don't know, I think that love isn't loud. It's consistent, like we were saying, those like little moments. Like when you made me laugh in the middle of a fight, whether it was about bills, our heathens, the world, what's happening.
Yeah.
When we find that moment to crack each other, through the anger, or it's, when I threw your hoodie in the dryer because I knew you wanted it warm while you sit under the air conditioner.
Yeah. It is always cold over here. Or what about you making the girls' lunches even when you're already running late, which is most of the time?
Hey, to be fair, I've gotten better about my time management and I have started to like leave on time. And I swear I'm about to leave out the door and they all need something that takes up 10 minutes of my time and I end up being late. That's why I have to leave for work 2 hours early.
Yeah. Or the times where I make your little spicy waters with all your little, I don't even know, supplements before I go crash out. Not literally crash out, but actually crash, like sleep.
Yeah, because you were on opposite schedules.
It's not glamorous, but I think that's really what keeps us connected,
No, for sure. Like those kind of things for me mean so much when because the kids default to mom, right? That's just what kids do. And you work so hard on trying to get them to like, hey, dad's here ask me, let me help you. Kids will literally hear you say that, and then they turn around, they're like, Mom, Mom. Right? So when you make my water with my supplements in it, when, you got my computer bag ready for me to head out the door, like helping me take care of those last little moments for me that I might slip up and forget because I'm focusing on the kids and what they need before I leave. That means a lot to me for sure.
Faux show. Love isn't always poetic. I think it's practical sometimes. A lot of times, actually. It's the way that we do the little things, It's its own kind of poem.
For sure. Is there any other, small, ordinary moment this week that reminded you that we're still on the same team?
I think when you just sat next to me after a long day, you didn't say anything. You didn't try to fix anything. Just leaned in, That was everything for me.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think, through the middle of this whole week and past couple weeks and just trying to do the stuff for the PTO and stuff at work, and I text you and I ask you for things and you just say, I got you. Just little words, little 3 words, but it feels definitely like a lifeline.
I like that.
Yeah. Like sometimes survival just looks like choosing gentleness when your whole body just wants to shut down. And when you give me those words, I got you. It literally is just like a lifeline.
Yeah. So how do we redefine love in chaos? What do you think?
What do you mean by like redefine? What's wrong with the definition of where it's at? Or do we even have like a definition for us on what that is?
I feel like back when we first got married, first probably 5 years, I would say we were honestly, we were inseparable. We worked together. We went home together. We did everything together. So we were together 24/7, 365. And not that was a bad thing or anything, but I don't think that was necessarily something that was going to continue when we had kids, which it didn't continue when we had kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that was us chasing fairy tales, trying to make that happen. And it took us a minute to try to figure out the new dynamic with kids.
Yeah.
But when we really started holding each other in that like wreckage, not that kids are a wreckage, but in the stress and the chaos of life.
Well, I guess, no, it would be like wreckage. Like, so we get together, we spend all of our time together. It's, Kelly and Justin and Jelly, like just us all the time. Every move we made was with each other. Or if we were making like separate moves, like we were like in the know about it. And then so we're going along in our little ship, and then things come along to change it and wreck it in a good way, but it's still like a wreckage. It's a wreckage of where we were. And even through the wreckage, that's when you rebuild, and you rebuild with those changes. And it was really hard for us to do that. We got married as kids. We weren't still even fully like developed adults. And so going through all of that, still learning how to process emotions, process, changes and things like that. And then, 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, the kids come, and then job changes and moving and all my health stuff and just all of the things that we went through, it wrecked where we were, but it has led us to build up a better foundation for the legacy and future that we want to leave for our children. I don't know. For me, love, it's that softness, even in the exhaustion. And I think for you, it's, feeling seen and not fixed.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that for sure. I can usually fix my own things, and I don't necessarily need to be fixed. I usually shut down when that happens. So, and I think you do a good job usually of recognizing that.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't let you shut down. Sometimes I'll let you shut down.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you just recognize where I'm at and what I need in the moment most of the time.
Yeah.
So, what did you used to think love meant that you've now like unlearned?
I think giving all of yourself to your partner. And I just don't think that that is realistic and or fair. It has to have some sort of meeting ground in effort. And one person cannot continuously do all the work. So like if you're going through something, out there and you're struggling in a relationship and you guys are like, yeah, well, let's do counseling. Like, we want to make it work. And you both agree on that, we want to make it work. But then as you move forward, one person's starting to move forward and the other person is not. That's not love.
Yeah.
That's not showing up. That's not showing love. And that's not, showing that person that, yes, you do want it. Actions speak so much louder than words when it comes to that kind of stuff. You can't just say, and, we went through that. You just can't say like, yeah, we love each other, so it's great. Everything's going to be fine. It wasn't fine. People, places, things pulled the strings and easily things fell apart for us because we weren't putting in the work for our foundation. We weren't strengthening our foundation and, putting that work into it. And so when you leave your foundation exposed with its cracks, things will come in and try to either make the cracks bigger or fill themselves into those cracks, changing up your foundation. You have to build that solid foundation between you and your partner before anything else so that you can go through life and things together as a team.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think in our early years, I always thought that love was fixing everything, especially when you were hurting. I always had to have a solution, and I always felt bad that I couldn't fix it. That was always the hardest part for me, is I just wanted to make you better.
Yeah, when I just needed your love and comfort.
Yeah. Well, learning opportunities. It's just about being present. I think being seen is more powerful than being fixed.
For sure. Can love survive without performance? What does that look like in practice?
I think so. I think you get to a certain point in your relationship where if you start trying to perform, like the other person's going to see through that because you're being fake.
Yeah.
At least that's what I look like, or look at. That's how I look at that. Can love survive without performance? I mean, at the beginning, I guess you're performing in a way, trying to be the person that they want you to be, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Or a person that they want to be with, but that can only hold up for so long.
Right.
Like you can't keep doing that and being fake about it if you are being fake. Like the real is going to come out eventually if you're trying to make something permanent.
Yeah.
So being you is always the best thing. But it's also being you together, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like figuring out what us looks like.
Yeah. I mean, because at the end of the day, there's me, there's you, but then there's also us. And I for sure think that we are, not for sure, but I know that we're soulmates. We just instantly clicked. And whether, we've been lovers, best friends, soulmates, and just something so special that words can't quite explain it. We accepted each other for everything that we are. and we just would never let each other be anything other than our most beautiful, imperfect self. And when we have allowed that with each other, that's where we've grown. We just knew in the very first moment that like we were supposed to cross paths together. And I know for me, like your presence makes me feel safe and calm, and that I'm just like home wherever I am with you. And you are without a doubt the most special person that I've had the privilege to love, even in the distance and time, or in people that have tried to come between us. Nothing's been able, nothing will be able to break the bond that we share with each other. In those moments where, you know, the kindness, the softness, the sincerity, and unconditional love, it makes me feel like a better person, because life is just simply better with you in it. So whatever may come to us, your comfort and sunshine, you're everything to me. And I just genuinely cannot imagine my life without you. It'll be in a few years where we've lived with each other longer than we lived without each other.
Coming up on that soon.
It's insane. You're 19 and I was 20, so our 21 year anniversary will have been within each other's lives longer than we were not in each other's lives.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's insane. Feels
Crazy,
like a lifetime.
Has been. Damn near.
Yeah. And when I was younger, I thought love meant soft all the time, the pretty words, the flowers, the fairy tales. But now I know that it's showing up even when I'm too tired to wrap it up pretty. Like sometimes I can make it all pretty, and sometimes I'm exhausted. I've come home, I've made you a meal, and I just drop it in front of you while you're playing your games, and I walk away. I don't have time to be like, here, darling, here's the food I made you. I love you so much. Blah, 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 blah. Sometimes it's like drop and go.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes that's all you can do.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, I think I touched on that a little bit, It was, love was fixing everything. With you being in pain constantly and all that stuff. Let's go ahead and just cut for our totally real sponsor real quick, okay?
See you after the break.
This Valentine's Day, say I love you the capitalist way. With love, sponsored by capitalism. Share a Google Calendar, tag each other in productivity memes. Split the mental load unevenly and call it a partnership. Order now and get matching credit scores, because nothing says forever like cosign debt and shared burnout.
All right, y'all, welcome back from that totally real sponsor. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's jump back in. Let's talk about the kids now. Our kids are always watching.
Do we have to talk about them? I feel like
Yes.
I talk about my kids 24/7. All the time.
That's
every day. I mean, I do it because I love them and I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, I think it's important to talk about that because that's how our love can teach them what's possible,
Yeah.
I think that tells us a lot about us too.
Yeah, well, for sure. They mirror it all right back to us. And when it's beautiful, and most of the time it's humbling.
Very true. Very, very true. So what have the kids repeated back to us that made us laugh or stop in our tracks?
Oh my God, every day. I can give you so many examples on that.
Too
I
many.
guess probably my facial expressions. Like, people tell me all the time, they're like, oh, just last night, Angel was like, Mikey, Mikey was making a face, and she was like, that's definitely a Kellie face. And I look at them sometimes and, man, I'd like to exchange some of the personalities I gave them. I'll take them back and give them some different ones, maybe some calmer ones.
More chill ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it all fun, though. It's a fun.
What about you?
part.
What have they repeated back home that you just are like, yep, that's my kid?
Oh, there are a lot of things. I mean, I think Leo probably does it the best for me specifically because my dad could confirm, but I used to lock myself in my room every night when I got home from school and would only come down for dinner and then go back to my room. And that's basically Leo
Literally.
in a nutshell. But they also say a bunch of stuff that makes us laugh all the time.
Every
like,
single day.
Constantly.
All the time.
Mikey especially, but Donnie with her little things. I remember when they first started saying the whole, heavy with purpose thing. Like just little things like that, the little inside jokes.
This morning, that shit comes out of the room, all suspicious. I'm like, what were you doing in there? She's like, nothing. I was like, Donnie, what were you doing in there? And she was like, oh, nothing, just looking in the mirror in my face because it's just so cute. And I can guarantee you she was probably in the mirror, just dancing in front of the mirror to herself, like, I'm just so pretty.
Yeah.
Why? She's the prima donna.
I've seen her do that before. Just at the vanity, looking at herself,
or
admiring.
Even Raph, too, just, she went from a shy little, smiley kid to just, the literal form of clouds and chaos is in our youngest.
Yeah. It's very true.
Sometimes she's just so chill, so lovey. She's our Sour Patch Kid. And then sometimes she is just like, what is it? The Tasmanian Devil. And then she comes through in her little storm and then she settles and she's like, what?
That is Raph. Do you think we're showing them what healthy love really looks like? Even the messy days?
I wouldn't necessarily call... Oh, excuse me. I wouldn't necessarily call all of our actions healthy. We yell too much. And you and I are both really hot-headed and hard-headed. And so sometimes that can escalate. But I think, we've had talks with him about that, just about how we're still learning, with each other. And, we recognize when it gets too bad and we're not in front of the kids. Right. And then we talk with them afterwards. Hey, how mom and dad just reacted with each other isn't right. Or sometimes they'll be the ones to be like, hey guys, you probably should take a pause. Maybe take a time out. Right. Mm-hmm. We have allowed emotions in our household. And growing up, the parents that we all had, emotions weren't, you shouldn't have, not necessarily you shouldn't have emotions, but in the household, there were certain standards, right? There was no chaos allowed. Everything had to be in order, proper, all of that stuff. And not to say that that's a bad thing. I definitely think we could benefit as a family with a little bit more structure and that, but we have also allowed home to be a safe space. And so I think that's what we're teaching them, is safety in their feelings and to process those and to get through them. So I guess, that's what we've learned from love from our own parents that we're trying to rewrite and change. I mean, we joke all the time that we're first generation gentle-ish.
Keyword ish.
Parents. Trying to unlearn reactionary discipline. I think is a huge thing. Not disciplining when you're overstimulated or haven't processed their action or whatnot. Discipline doesn't have to come, consequences don't have to come immediately. Sometimes you have to take a step back and evaluate the situation. How did it make us feel that happened? what really happened, maybe digging into the bottom of it and finding the root cause of the problem first before you decide any sort of consequence or disciplinary action.
It's always a tricky one for me.
Why?
It depends on what's happening. Like, if sometimes things need to be handled in the moment.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that you don't have to handle things in a moment, but not everything needs to be handled in the moment. That's where I'm talking about reactionary discipline.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. The tricky part is going back when you're not always super structured or when you have so many things happening. Because if you don't go back and really set clear boundaries and expectations, then the lesson isn't learned. Or if it's not done in that moment, they don't have anything to connect it to because it's too late. So I think that really depends more on age group than anything. It's harder to do that with a younger kid. It's much easier to wait till later with older kids because they can place what happened and then they have time to process their feelings and think about it.
Yeah.
Where, not that they don't have, Raph has an amazing memory. But like, she wouldn't necessarily be able to place her feelings and everything in that moment because she's not there yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we all have our own things, especially that's your first introduction to love is your parents, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or lack of that in my situation. I never really got to see I had one picture, but my parents broke up when I was just a baby, so I never got to see my actual mom and dad together.
Yeah.
From the stories I've heard, though, it probably would have been pretty toxic. So probably a good thing that it didn't go that way. But then, so that adds a whole different layer to it when you see a step parent and your parent, you know,
Yeah.
creates a different kind of dynamic. And I'm very thankful for, you know, all the lessons and things that I learned. But I think I do approach things differently because of that in our own relationship.
Yeah. I think it was probably one of the like biggest factors for us of fixing our relationship and really putting in that work is just watching just all of our parents and, you know, what they went through. My parents broke up, got back together lots of times. I feel like you've taken your experience, I've taken my experience, and we're just kind of taking like what worked from all of that, what we think didn't work, and just trying to, like I said, rewrite that into our parenting and, you know.
Making our own blueprint.
Yeah, it's hard.
It is very hard. But, you know, blueprints don't have to be flawless to be useful.
No, you just have to have the bones and the structures of it to help, you know, build upon. And blueprints can be changed. Maps can be changed.
Yeah.
Things can be restructured.
How does it feel knowing they're learning about love by watching us, not listening to us?
I mean, well, yeah, they don't listen. Kids don't listen. It's definitely by how they watch, because you know they don't listen, but then they're watching, and so, you know, a couple weeks later down the road, from what they've watched, and they, you know, they execute that.
And they see everything.
All of it.
Everything. Things that you don't think they're seeing, they see, and they'll bring it up randomly weeks from now.
Literally.
Be like, yeah, you remember when this happened? No, I don't remember what happened yesterday.
How was your day today? What'd you do? I don't know. Okay.
You remember when you promised that you were going to give me this?
Yeah.
5 years ago?
Where's my Stanley? Jeez. Where are the dishes I asked you to put in the sink?
Always something. So yeah, this is our legacy that we're trying to build, you know? Trying to put all these things together. I think this podcast has really been a learning experience for us. You know, if the I think I've learned that if the world won't care for us, then we got to care for each other. And that's the legacy that we're trying to build.
For sure.
You got all the imperfect but real things that we've built, some separate, some together. The things that you've done with the PTO, which have been super amazing. Like, you're getting a lot of that. The compliments are coming in later now that, you know, you're really structuring it in the right way. And I think it's enabling people to be their best selves in that space.
Yeah. I mean, I took the position as the president of the PTO, and the president that was before me, so amazing. And she was able to build this whole thing by herself and pull off amazing things by herself. And I came in and started to help her, you know, do some things. But it was, you know, core 4 people always putting in the work. And with the school that big, I'm sorry, but 4 or 5 people aren't going to be able to continue to always put off these amazing things. I don't burn out. I like literally just, when I say, okay, I don't crash out from my burnout all the time, often. I just actively will burn and crash out while still doing everything.
If people could see the daggers I was throwing.
Okay. So, but what I mean is that, well, I mean, I burn and crash out, but I continue to do this because it's so important to me for, you know, for the kids and stuff like that. But I mean, with my hip and my knee injuries, like, I'm working on top of it, you know, helping provide for you to be able to go back to school, doing the PTO stuff. Like, every step is painful for me. But I know that every step that I'm taking and the moves that I'm making are for the betterment of my children's future and other children's future. And that's what keeps me going. So people ask all the time, like, how do you do this? Like, how do you keep going? And it's like, because as extroverted and as everything I am, people see that I think I'm doing this all for myself and doing it for me, but I'm not. I make most of my other moves for the betterment and the happiness of other people. And now that's not always healthy. And that's something that I have been learning, to set better boundaries and to say no more often, and to lead with the purpose of love for others without letting them empty my cup.
Yeah. You know, it made me think when you were talking about how, you know, the previous PTO president kind of built it all from the ground up, laid a really good foundation. The way that you iterate on things to make things better, it really leads to a lot of growth and improving things, right? Like, without you coming in, the PTO would still be doing the same thing, which wasn't a bad thing by any means, but there wouldn't have been any growth. And I think that we saw last year some of those uncomfortable moments of growth. And now coming into this year, having a little bit more structure, knowing how you operate, knowing how everybody else operates, people are learning kind of the place and how things are moving. Like, I think you can apply that to other situations, even like with watching our parents, right? Like,
Yeah.
Their love stories. We bring those things, our baggage, trauma, whatever you want to call it, into our relationships, but then we create something new out of it. We keep on iterating until we get something that works.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing, I think.
It is, for sure.
Legacy isn't just what we leave behind, you know? It's what we live out loud every day.
Mm-hmm. Building up that legacy, and building that legacy in like kindness and understanding, and for all of humanity. We are all so different in this world. This world is made up of so many different types of people, culture, religion, and everything. And you don't leave a legacy by demanding everyone follow your truth. Legacy is built when you collectively take the good parts from all sides, because every side has good and bad. And when you take from the good and everywhere and you put that together, it's like the Power Rangers, like when they would they'd fight off the monsters or whatever. And
The Zords.
The Zords, yeah. So they all are individual. They're all good individually, but when they take that and then what do they become? Right? They're each a different part. One's a leg, one's the arms, one's the head, one's the control, whatever. I can't remember the name of it right now. But when they do that and they build up stronger together, that's how you fight back. That's how you build legacy. That's how you build a better future.
Yeah, very, very true. So when we're gone, what do you hope that the kids remember about how we loved each other?
I think the kids, I don't know, they're gonna tell how it is. Mom and Dad, they fought. They knew how to push each other's buttons. They'll say that we loved each other, and that we, even in the moments of like being upset with each other, we still found ways to show each other I love you. You know what I mean? I don't know. What about you?
I hope that they just remember that we never gave up.
Yeah.
Like even when things got hard, and things have gotten hard before.
Yeah.
But we always found a way to make it back to each other.
Yeah.
Even when it was messy and chaotic and whatever, like we always found a way to come back. Whatever, if it's worth it, like you're gonna put the work in to make it work. I think that's probably part of the reason why there are so many divorces nowadays, is because people just aren't willing to put that work in.
Yeah.
Like you go through the honeymoon phase, that doesn't last forever.
Sure does not.
You got to put work in.
You have to even put work in through the honeymoon phase. I think you still need to put work in through the honeymoon phase.
I mean, I agree, but people don't.
No, they don't, and
then when they have to put work in, it's
right.
Like, wait a second.
They're like, wait.
I don't know.
But if you put that work in while you're high on love, some of those little annoyances that will break people up, that like really aren't like divorce worthy, in my opinion, you're better able to get through those things.
Yeah.
And if you put the work in while love is high, it's easier to continue the work when the love is low.
Yeah. That's a good point. So back on the podcast, though, would you say that the podcast is more like legacy, or is it more like a love letter for them to hear later?
Love letter.
Our own little love letter.
Yeah. They'll be able to look back or listen back onto these moments from episode 1 to episode 8 to future seasons that we have, and the growth we have of each other. They'll have our voices to listen to for comfort. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, girls, you are the love and the light of our lives. And everything we do is for you, because we love you and want you to have the best future you can have.
Yeah. How does love fuel the things we're building right now, do you think? Even when they look, messy from the outside?
I don't know. Like, it just does.
Just does.
It just does.
I think your love and support for me really fuels the things that I build.
My love and support for you?
Yeah. Well, like, for example, like the papers that I'm writing, like, I noticed that we obviously have two different life experiences that are coming together. Like, I will never understand what it's like to be black, and you'll never understand what it's like to be a white man. Like, and that's okay. But the cool thing is we've been able to learn from each other what both sides kind of look like. And, what that space looks like for you.
Yeah.
At least try to be more understanding.
Yeah.
So I bring that into the things that I create and the things that I'm working on. And also just, trying to provide a better life than we had growing up,
Yeah.
especially for the girls.
Yeah. I mean, so like to go back to your point, we both grew up very differently.
Very.
Very differently. I had a great upbringing in regards to stability of my home and finances and things like that growing up. So right now I'm trying to give my kids that same sort of thing that I had there. But for me, it's about letting my kids feel safe to be who they are, letting them feel safe on being able to come to me when things happen, and giving them the ability to trust me to help them through crisis and conflict. I don't know.
All the lessons.
Yeah. Probably why I give them so many hugs and so many kisses and so many cuddles and things like that. Like I didn't get that part of things,
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes it sucks trying to like talk about like what you didn't get and what you get. Cause if our parents ever like listen to this stuff, like I don't want them to think that I don't love them or that I don't think that I had a great upbringing, but there's definitely some mistakes that my parents made for sure.
They know that they made mistakes.
And they're human, right? So like,
I don't feel bad about being real about it. Like we were the firstborn. We were the test babies.
yeah.
They had to figure everything out.
Yeah.
Just like we had to with Leo. And I've talked to Leo about that before.
Yeah.
They understand where I come from.
We are both so real with her on like, hey, we both grew up as the oldest child. I grew up as the eldest sister, the eldest child, like the first grandchild, first grandgirl. Like that's grandniece, like the niece. I grew up like as what Leo is growing up as.
Yeah.
And I feel like we do try to. We obviously we lean on. We're a family unit. We obviously are going to lean on her for things. Sorry, you were born first. That's just the nature of the order that you were born. But we're real and honest with her about that. And if she's like, "You guys are doing too much. I'm not your third parent," we're like, "Okay, we recognize that, right?" So we back off a little bit. But she's such a good kid.
She's a really good kid.
She's such a good. I mean, her grades from last year to like her behavior. I mean, if all she's doing is going up and locking herself in her room to just chill, like at the end of the day, like it's not the most healthy. I want her to come out of her room a little bit more, but I also don't like she's not off of vaping and doing those things that 13-year-old kids are doing right now. So I'm grateful.
True.
She's not easily influenced into doing things that she doesn't want to do.
She's very strong-willed.
Yeah. I mean, they're all amazing. Michaela, she is hilarious. She's a diplomat, but also like, I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I don't know. Maybe you could like better explain it, but like she's like very diplomatic, but she's also very like, don't fuck with me.
Yeah, all the above. She's a people person.
She's a
like
people
she
person.
understands people in a very deep way.
And it's hard for her in her little tiny body because it's such a big thing to hold. I'm the same way as that, It's a hard weight to hold. That tends to mask your own self while still trying to hold things for other people. So that's my work with her. Donnie is, I don't know what we're gonna do with her. She's the prima donna. She is so smart. She's so kind. She is so kind-hearted. But she will be easily influenced.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's just Bacardi, Raz, and Gatorade.
Okay, Kellie 2.0.
But she's so kind. She's so kind. She's so smart. I just want her to hold on to that kindness and smartness and lead with that and not, use her goodness for good, chaos for good, whatever.
And then Raph, our little Virgo.
Oh, my Raph, my little Raffy Taffy, my little cuddle buddy, spot stealer. But she just radiates like so much love. She like her little superpower right now is that she can just come up to you and like give you a hug or like rub your back or just like tell you everything's gonna be okay, and you'll believe it.
Yeah.
And then she'll slap you and run away and be like,
yeah, that's true. She does that. Yeah. Full circle, huh?
Yeah.
That's basically the end. We've made it through.
Wow. That's crazy. Crazy, baby.
Full circle. We are still tired.
Always will be.
Still figuring it out. But now we're not alone doing it.
We're not. And now we have all of you guys and future you guys that, come back and listen to season 1 when you haven't discovered us till season 6, and you got to go back through all the seasons. So
yeah,
welcome to the beginning. Thank you for being there in the future.
Boom.
Revisiting
season 1, so we talked a lot about the clouds. That's kind of the confusion. Talked about the chaos, just the noise around.
Yeah.
And then love is the way through.
For sure. So like looking back on the season, where did love surprise you the most? Or if you want our listeners to carry anything from the season into, or like what would you want our listeners to carry from the season into their own storms? I guess would be a better question.
There's a lot of gems throughout, and I think it's something that you have to go through and listen multiple times to really catch everything. But I think we've gone through the full process from beginning to end.
Yeah.
With burnout and talking through what all these things look like. And we said from the beginning, we're not experts. We're not trying to fix anybody. We're just trying to keep it real.
Yeah.
Having conversations. And I think that's what I would want people to take away the most is like, it's okay to talk. Like, it's okay to have a difference of opinion.
For sure.
And still communicate.
Yes.
Like, I'd rather be at the table with people talking than, not.
Yeah.
I'd rather be at the table talking.
I would rather be at the table talking with people than talking at people.
Yeah. So yeah.
Awesome. So, just a few final gems to sparkle into your world. It's just that the world is loud, but love is a signal that cuts through the static.
We survived the fire, the fog, and the fight. And love is the proof we're still here. So.
Yes. All right. So you've made it. We've made it through the season, through the storm. And maybe now you can rest a little easier knowing that all of that fire, the fog, the fight, and the love, that is all part of your survival. If the season gave you something, maybe a little breath, a little clarity, share it with someone you love. Share with us what you liked, what you'd like to see different, but just let it ripple.
And if you're here with us, drop a like, share the episode, keep the circle growing. This love survives because we carry it together.
We're all in this together. Once we know that we'll all stars, and we see that.
Join our sing-alongs.
There'll probably be more of those in the future. I don't know. We did it. We're growing. We've now done one season. And so I'm just really excited to continue this work with you and building off a incredible second season, which we'll probably put more like on video and stuff now that we know kind of the logistics of it. Yeah.
Made it. We did it. We'll take a little break before we drop season 2, but if you have any ideas for us, anything you want to see, hit us up. Otherwise, stay real. Peace.
Bye. Love you guys. See you next season.